I love Los Angeles. I really do. It's a place where I feel safe and secure.
We come to LA for a land of becoming. You come to LA to hit reset, but you can never ever abandon your story.
What we really want to do is build this social justice movement in a way that really speaks to being able to create the change we want to see.
That's what it means to me to be an Angeleno, to represent something greater than myself.
It's the confluence of imagination, dreams, memory, family, culture.
It means people, it means love, it means life.
El corazón o lo que te impulsa.
Being curious about the city.
We gel together, we work together, we make progress together, and we prosper together.
The purpose of a human atlas is to create a deeper narrative about social change through portraits, ancestral DNA, and oral histories. As the Human Atlas has grown, and we've made them now in Germany, Brazil, Detroit, Silicon Valley, and now here in Los Angeles. So we've tried to construct the Human Atlas process as a loving welcome, a chance to feel witnessed to the people who come in front of our camera. This is a place where people come to find and fashion a new future, and we're getting the chance to tell that story. It's really grown into a platform. We've created podcasts, exterior projections, traditional exhibitions, and of course the beautiful books we make with Studio Sutherland. Human atlases are built on deeply intentional nomination processes, bringing together social change agents from across the spectrum: the arts, science, medicine, racial justice, environmental activism. They are brought together to be able to be part of a platform that tells their story in a more powerful way. At the heart of the human condition, I think, is a desire to belong, to feel like you belong. And you belong when your voice is heard.
We discovered that the feel of the place and the spirit and the place and the heart of the place is really built and brought to you by its people.
When we create Somos Brazil, we developed this methodology that now it's used in all the other projects for the series. So through these 2 hours, they go through a data check with me in the computer, and then we do a quick DNA test to analyze the ancestral DNA.
So through the ancestral DNA piece, we allow that deeper narrative to come to the fore of where we're from, where we've moved from, where we're going to, that migration journey. The two key themes of any atlas is that we study places that have skewed narratives. And through our platform, we can tell those more nuanced and interesting and truthful stories about what a place and its people really are up to. Second thing that we need in every atlas is some sense of a powerful migration story. Migration seems to lie at the heart of the bigger global story that we're all trying to understand. So right now we're in LA creating our latest human atlas, Alta, a human atlas of a city of angels. Our connection to Los Angeles is through the Getty. The head of science at the Getty Conservation Institute, Tom Lerner, called us up and asked us if we would consider making a human atlas here in the City of Angels.
PSD Art, as it's now called, is an initiative that Getty launched in 2007. It's happened 3 times, so approximately every 7 years, and each time it's a different theme. This PSD in 2024 is PSD Art, Art and Science Collide. The way that human atlases fall under the art and science banner, I think, is beautiful portraits that Marcus takes, being the sort of high art piece, the oral histories, and then the very, very important science aspect being the DNA testing, mapping all the extraordinary migration patterns of the individuals there. To me, this project is all about preservation. Instead of objects or paintings or sculpture, we're preserving stories. We're preserving stories of people, place, community.
100 different people, all coming from completely different perspectives. There's just this sense of possibility that seems to pervade all aspects of life here in Los Angeles. When we begin to have these really deeper conversations with our nominees, with the people who participate in the project, the 100 chosen Alteños, as we're calling them, I start to have these insights into the villages of LA.
This place is really special to me because I've been in this house since I was in 5th grade. Obviously, this is home. It's near 1 block to elementary school, 3 blocks to middle school, and then 0.7 miles to my high school.
We are at my great-grandfather's favorite park, which is the Kenneth Hahn Park, and it's unfortunately surrounded by oil wells, as you can see, but it's really a special park for my family. Oil drilling has been scientifically proven to damage our health, our safety, and our environment. In my personal experience growing up 30 feet from an active oil and gas well, my body has been on the front lines. This is not only happening to me, but my family, but most of my community. And we only have one planet. Communities are not invisible, we are not disposable, but we are powerful and strong, and we deserve to breathe clean air in our own homes.
We're shooting this in Skid Row. You're in a community where people know one another, where people speak to one another, where people smile at one another, where people share with one another, right? And that is something that's just not so common. Here is the spirit of unity, is the spirit of acceptance.
This is where my journey in helping others started. This is where I first drove through. After living in LA for 7 years, I drove through Skid Row by mistake. I saw what was going on and decided that I had to help.
Well, Boyle Heights, first and foremost, is my family's first home in the United States. So building Chelas is an homage to not only Boyle Heights, but to Guanajuato, where my family is from. So this is just to be representative of the community that's here that may have similar experiences as children of immigrants and feeling validated.
Oh, this place means everything to me. This is, for me, like heaven on earth. The last is first here. In every way, parole, probation, never had a job, had tattoos, gang member. Welcome, you start tomorrow. You know what I mean? In most places, that's not the way it is, but man, this place is something special. It's instant energy when you come here. You'll feel it, you'll feel it.
So Maqueo's music is home to not just the Maqueo's family, but to many other families and the Oaxacan community. Maqueo's is just another chance for a family.
In many ways, Los Angeles is simply a city of cities. There are 88 separate municipalities, 88 separate conurbations, all rammed into these valleys and mountains. It's extraordinarily complex.
We are at Central Library in downtown Los Angeles. We're on lower level 4. This is all part of the History and Genealogy Department. From the very beginning, the little pueblo, the 4 square leagues, that was the way the city was founded. 44 people came up here and founded the city.
Self-help has been described to me as a haven, a cultural home, an artistic home, and it's really a place where so many different communities come together to create, to inspire each other, to learn. I think the beautiful kind of cultural affirmation that people experience here is associated with the space itself and with the organization's incredible legacy.
So you think about where we are right now in the history of Los Angeles City Fire Department, 137-year history. And absolutely being the first female fire chief is something that is very significant. So I understand that. I understand what that means, but more importantly, it's more about the path forward to understand from the female perspective of what I represent and how I represent. But in the end, you want to be known as a really good fire chief.
Over the millennia, humanity has become the most extraordinary and beautiful mosaic. The DNA science shows how powerfully we're interconnected, telling us that we are all brothers and sisters, linked through thousands of years of migration.
We're here today because we are unveiling the results of my Ancestry test.
I'm most excited to ground myself in my ancestral culture.
So I'm Filipino, so I hope to see a lot of Philippines in it, but we've been a heavily colonized set of islands.
Yeah, let's do it.
So there you go.
Okay.
Very excited.
Oh, there's percentages and a map. Oh my gosh. Nothing has depicted my ancestry or my lineage like this. I want to find out more, actually.
So who's Central American? That's what I'm wondering.
There are things like intrinsically that we feel we are, and then data, like this type of data, it's like assimilating into it, but like there's an intrinsic knowledge of who you are. I crave a home in a way, and it makes me feel more like a global citizen.
We're all in this together some way, somehow, as human beings, and that we're not all that different.
If I don't understand my history as African, if I don't understand my history as Black, then what happens oftentimes in this country is that we then try to stigmatize and think about like, well, how far can we get from Blackness?
You know, we could look at it from the negative perspective, is that we went through a lot of, you know, slave experiences, but within that, you also are kind of everywhere, you know what I mean? Connected to a lot of different cultures.
Woo! I'm so excited. I'm like, okay, you can do this. This is my family, okay?
My goal is to transform school culture and help schools understand that, specifically students from a marginalized background, that they can become experts in technology.
Anybody who comes through the doors, we always acknowledge. And one of the homies that you might be whoa, stay away from, he might walk up to you and say, do you need anything? Do you need water? You know, how can we help you? What are you here for? It's dignity.
I dream of a world where my story ends with me, where a future 9-year-old is not forced into activism as a form of survival, or a 19-year-old is forced to choose between her reproductive system or her life.
I think the change that I want to make in this world, I believe that there's enough for everyone in this world. I want to make sure that everyone has enough, right? I want to make sure that everyone has a home, that everyone has healthcare, that everyone has a healthy diet. I just feel like sharing the wealth or spreading the wealth is important.
Having that platform that not many of people or women are ever really given. It feels very just. It feels fair.
So much of me and who I am lives in the city.
My hope is that we get to walk the streets with pride and dignity.
Mi nombre es Miguel Ángel.
My name is Marta Gonzalez. My name is Melissa Rivera.
My name is Jamal
I'm Christina
Hill.
Wong.
My name is Pete White, and I am human.